ভ্রমি বিষয়ে মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে মহাকালো মাঝে তুমি আছো বিশ্বনাথ অসীম রহস্য মাঝে তুমি আছো বিশ্বনাথ অসীম রহস্য মাঝে নীরবে একাকী আপন মহিমা নিলয়ে মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে মহাকালো মাঝে অনন্ত এ দেশকালে অগণ্য হে দীপ্ত লোকে তুমি আছো মোরে চাহি আমি চাহি তোমা পানে স্তব্ধ সর্ব কোলাহল শান্তি মগ্ন চরাচর স্তব্ধ সর্ব কোলাহল শান্তি মগ্ন চরাচর একো তুমি তোমা মাঝে আমি একা নির্ভয়ে মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে মহাকালো মাঝে আমি মানব একাকী ভ্রমি বিষয়ে ভ্রমি বিষয়ে মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে মহাকালো মাঝে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you so much for this melodious beginning of the session. And this will be followed by the lighting of the lamp to mark the inauguration of the program. And I will request our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Dipendra Kumar Jha, to lead the delegates up to the dais for lighting of the lamp. I will also request Professor Shaptoshi Chatterjee to accompany him. begin with the felicitation program, we have with us today, we all know, we have already heard from him, we have Professor Parthapratim Majumdar as our chief guest of honor. So we will request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate him. Professor Majumdar is an eminent statistician and human geneticist of international repute, and he has made significant contribution to human genetics and evolution using statistical, molecular genetics, and anthropological methods. He is the founder director of National Institute of Biomedical Genomics, emeritus professor ISI Kolkata, and honorary professor of IISER Mohali. A big round of applause for Professor Majumdar. Now may I request Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee to felicitate Dr. Kamlesh Sarkar, Director, ICMR, National Institute of Occupational Health. I will request our respected Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Mr. Sudip Tuporel, Joint Secretary, Department of Science and Technology and Biotechnology, Government of West Bengal. Next, I would like to request Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee to felicitate Dr. Piali Boshak, Director, Department of Biomedical Engineering, Jadavpur University. And I would also like to request Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee to come up again to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Dipendra Kumar Jha. Now to introduce us to eYuva Center and give the welcome address, I will request eYuva Center to come up to the podium.
Good morning, one and all present here. It is my proud privilege to present the welcome address in today's auspicious occasion. The eYuva Center is established by the support of BIRAC, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, that is one, and this eYuva Center at Adamas University is one of 10 such centers in India. I convey my heartfelt thanks and to the authorities of BIRAC and Department of Biotechnology, Government of India for reposing faith on us and providing the challenge to ignite the young minds with bio-innovation, translational research and entrepreneurship. I convey my deepest regards to Professor Parthapratim Majumdar, Distinguished Professor and Founding Director, NIBMG, Kalyani, Dr. Kamlesh Sarkar, Director, ICMR, NIOH, for their kind physical presence despite of the present situation. We are honored to have you, sir. Welcome to Adamas University. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Sudipto Porel, Joint Secretary, Science, Technology and Biotechnology, Government of West Bengal, Dr. Piali Boshak, Director, School of Bioengineering, Jadavpur University, Dr. Shujip Kaur, Headmaster and Shikharatna Awardee, to grace the occasion. I convey my sincere gratitude to Professor Suranjan Das, Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University, Dr. Manish Diwan, Head of the Department, SPED, BIRAC, and Dr. Keka Sarkar, Dean, Faculty of Science, University of Kalyani, who will be joining the session virtually. As you all are aware that the inaugural session is followed by National Seminar on Innovation towards Achieving Sustainable Development Goal. There are several speakers across India who would join the seminar physically or virtually to enrich our faculty members and students. I convey my heartfelt gratitude towards them. The establishment of this center was possible due to the encouragement of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dipendra Kumar Jha, and the patronage of our Honorable Chancellor, Professor Shomit Ray. I thank the entire management and the leadership team of Adamus University for their kind support. I welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, on the dais. I welcome all the deans, directors, HODs, and my faculty colleagues for sparing time and being present in the inaugural session today. I also welcome the media personnel from various media agencies for their time and to give value to a positive event that demands a wide circulation amidst various news for the wrong reason. The purpose of eJuva Center is to promote translational research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The beneficiaries of these are none other than our beloved students. Therefore, I extend a warm welcome to all the students and participants for showing interest and hope the session will be stimulating and benefit you. As the Chief Coordinator of the eJuva Center, I welcome you all to this program, and I hope this would be encouraging you towards translational research and converting India to a better place. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all.
Now we have with us our guest of honor, Dr. Kamlesh Sarkar, Director, ICMR, National Institute of Occupational Health. To briefly introduce him, he is a public health physician by training, currently working as Director of ICMR NIOH. Previously, he was associated with ICMR NICET, beginning as the research officer and then held other responsible posts like assistant director, deputy director, and senior deputy director, and is still associated with this esteemed organization. Additionally, he also looked after the National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau West Bengal unit as chief since 2009 till 2015. He successfully completed a number of community-based public health research projects on HIV, malaria, tuberculosis, malnutrition, diabetes, silicosis, lead toxicity, COVID-19, musculoskeletal disorders, and many, many others. Member of National Academy of Medical Sciences and Indian Public Health Association, Dr. Sarkar is the recipient of prestigious awards like Fogarty International Postdoctoral Fellowship in HIV Epidemiology, WHO Fellowship in Neuroepidemiology, and ICMS Dr. M.K. Seshadri Awards. So with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Dr. Kamlesh Sarkar to address the event today.
Thank you for generous introduction. Good morning, everybody. At the outset, I must thank the organizers, faculties of Adamus University for giving me opportunities to say a few words. Actually, today is the National Science Day, which commemorates the discovery of Sir C.V. Raman for the Raman effect. And this year's theme is, as far as I remember, is the integrated approach in science and technology for sustainable development or sustainable goals, something like this. Now, I'm really very glad knowing that this center has secured one of the 10 BIRAC EUBA centers for doing translational research, innovation, to empower the young generations of our country. Let me let me share some of the recent achievements in my institutes so that it will encourage the students. Recently we developed there is a just research component I am telling, but after that what I will describe what we have done. There is a disease called silicosis, because since I took the charge of National Institute of Occupational Health, there are so many occupation related diseases, and I started searching out, or we started searching out, what are the common occupational diseases prevalent in the country which is unsolved. And I found that silicosis is one of the most prevalent but highly neglected disease. Now silicosis, many of you know, some of you do not know, I am just telling it's a lung disease. Lung disease due to continuous or intermittent exposure of dust containing silica. Silica is abundant in the earth's crust. So the person who works with the earth's crust, like coal mines, rock mines, then ceramic industry, then thermal power, then iron industry, any industry or any ore which is related to ore, the workers are exposed to silica dust and they develop silicosis. Now the problem is there is no treatment, no cure of silicosis, because the disease is irreversible, disease is incurable, and it leads to lot of morbidity and mortality, premature mortality. If you go to several villages of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, you will find there are a lot of villages with young widows. Husband of them are died due to silicosis at a very young age. So we started searching out how to control this disease, silicosis, and we found that the disease is usually diagnosed at a late stage, because the conventional way of diagnosing it is by chest X-ray. Now to develop shadow in the chest X-ray, it takes some time. So the time when it is detected by chest X-ray, nothing can be done much, and after 2-3 years, patient usually dies. So there is a method which is called secondary prevention. Secondary prevention means very early stage, you detect the disease at very early stage and prevent. If the disease is not curable, you prevent the disease. So what could be the early indication or early marker? And ultimately, we did lot of background studies, lot of the available studies in the world, and we found that some of the researchers, they worked with silica exposure in the rats, and they found that the lungs are damaged by this silica, and there could be a possible marker of CC16. CC16 is a protein which is secreted from the epithelial cells of the lung. So after reviewing all the pros and cons, we found that CC16, let us explore it further, and we found that the CC16 is a reliable marker which can indicate, or which could indicate, the disease at a very early stage if we do periodic screening of all the workers. Based on that, we conducted 3 studies, and we found CC16 is a good marker, reliable biomarker. And after that, we developed a kit which is similar to the pregnancy detection kit. So that kit will detect just from the, you collect 1 drop of blood from the finger, you put the drop of blood in that kit which we have developed. Within 10 minutes, it will tell the amount of CC16, based on which we can tell, or we can understand that this is the early lung damage, this is the intermediate lung damage, this is the severe lung damage, this is no lung damage, etc. So we submitted this thing to ICMR, and ICMR has commercialized, it has given license to 2 of the manufacturers. One is the Delhi-based manufacturer, one is Chennai-based. The Delhi-based manufacturers, they have started manufacturing it, and hopefully in the next month, middle of next month, it will be available in the market. And government of Rajasthan and government of Chhattisgarh, they are in touch with me continuously, because they want to prevent their silicosis by doing a state-wide silicosis control program using that kit. So this is one of the example I am giving. So some other examples also we have done in recent past. We have developed a skin patch. It's a bandit-like skin patch, transdermal patch, which will detect lead toxicity. If you have excess lead level in the blood, it will come into the sweat, and from the sweat, as I told, it's a transdermal patch. That means bandit-like patch. It will absorb the sweat and it will detect if there is a higher amount of lead level. So that is one. We have developed another face mask, particularly during this COVID crisis. There is another institute in Gujarat. CSIR Institute, Central Salt and Marine Research Institute. We collaborate with scientists with them of that institute that developed a face mask which is similar to the N95 face mask, but it is a biodegradable. And at a very low cost, maybe 20 rupees, 30 rupees was the cost at that time. N95 mask cost was very high. That is also under pipeline. We have already developed and patent has been filed. So similarly, some other products are in the pipeline. We hope it will be done soon. So the way I am sharing this thing, I hope in near future, this center students particularly with able mentorship of Professor Saptarshi and similar other young mentors and even experienced mentors, they will develop similar many more projects. And if you need any support or any guidance or any help, please don't hesitate to call me and we will be very happy to support you to give our guidance. So with these few words, let me stop here. Thank you very much.
We have with us today in virtual mode our guest of honor from BIRAC Government of India, Dr. Manish Diwan. Dr. Manish Diwan is the head of Strategy, Partnership and Entrepreneurship Development, BIRAC, Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. Dr. Diwan, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. I could just hear you right now. I haven't heard you before.
Hello, sir. So welcome to the inaugural session of the EUVA Center, Adams University. So thank you for your support. And in this inaugural session, we will like to hear you about this event. So it's over to you, sir.
All right. Pleasure to be here, and congratulations to the entire team on this occasion of inauguration of EUVA Center. I could see, thankfully to Dr. Saptarshi and his team, a part of the inaugural event, along with the opening ceremony with Professor Dipendra Jha, and I could also see Professor Partho Majumdar and other dignitaries. So congratulations to the entire team of ADAMAS. We are very hopeful that this endeavor would be very fruitful and would bring together the UG and PG level and help in inculcation of a culture of entrepreneurship. BIRAC is a central agency set up by DBT, Department of Biotechnology, under Ministry of Science and Technology. This is a public sector undertaking, Government of India. We have created schemes and programs that offer funding, incubation, hand-holding, mentoring, networking, and overall support to aspiring entrepreneurs, startups, and SMEs, as well as large industries. The schemes of BIRAC are designed and customized to suit the requirements and needs of different stages of innovation, starting from a risky investment at pre-proof of concept, going to equity-based investments and scale-up and commercialization support to the startups and industries. The schemes also cater to different sections of beneficiaries, for example, students, entrepreneurs, startups, and faculty entrepreneurs inclusive, besides industry. EUI is one such scheme of BIRAC that intends to capture the, the vibrant energy of young minds and promoting student entrepreneurship. The scheme provides pre-incubation facility within the university setup and inspires students at UG level to take up and address challenges through their innovative solutions. BIREC has 10 EUA centers across the country, and ADAMAS is one of the proud centers of EUA. So congratulations for that, for onboarding and getting integrated with the BIREC family. BIREC has already announced one national call, its first national call for the EUA, seeking proposals from students under the category of EUA UG fellow, UG students, as well as innovation fellows for PhD and postgraduate students. I would also like to emphasize that EUA is the only BIREC scheme which integrates undergraduate students with the resources, and that too in a very pragmatic way, quite flexibly allows a UG student to work for their entrepreneurial idea, bringing together complementary strength of few students put together and work for a particular idea over a period of year, taking time out from their busy curriculum and academic schedule as well. BIREC, we congratulate and welcome ADAMAS to its family of EUA centers and hope that the center would actively work towards the larger goal of promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. Also, through this scheme, we would expect to create an impact and create a pipeline of innovators and entrepreneurs through this center around the region. We would be happy to continuously engage on this success of this scheme, and hopefully, basis on the outcome of your efforts, we will be able to further nurture and support the endeavors. There is a natural integration of pre-incubation centers with the more mature BioNest incubators in the country. There is a large network of 60 such BioNest incubators spread across 18 states. So that will connect the pre-incubation activities at ADAMAS and also bring far greater opportunities for the students and young fellows, EUA fellows, through the ADAMAS pre-incubation center, EUA center, to get onboarded on the national level facilities for the biotech entrepreneurs. So congratulations again, and I am also as excited as you to look forward for the successful outcome of this pre-incubation center. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of inspiration and support. Thank you for joining virtually, and in near future, we'll hope to have you in our university campus itself. So with that, we move forward to our next speaker, and it is time to hear from our next guest of honor, Mr. Sudipta Porel, Joint Secretary, Department of Science and Technology and Biotechnology, Government of West Bengal.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Kamalesh Sir, Piyali Madam, and distinguished guests, and dear students. I would like to introduce myself as a civil servant, far apart from the academic world. But we're trying hard to develop a robust ecosystem in biotechnology field, converging all the resources like academic institutes, industries, entrepreneurs, and the financial institution, so that all the students, all the startup, all the entrepreneurs can be absorbed in this ecosystem. Obviously, it is not an uneven journey for us. Sometimes we was on the peak, sometimes we fell flat on the plateau. So it's a history. Every country keeps its own history of biotechnology journey, and that will be well documented in future for researchers. But in India, we are trying hard to develop it. I'll give you one or two examples where these entrepreneurships, where this financial support, and obviously the involvement of academicians are of paramount importance. You know, Singapore is a very tiny country. Lee Kuan Yew was the prime minister of that country. And when the expert biotechnologists tried hard to convince prime minister to introduce biotechnology in this tiny island country, he said, what is the need of biotechnology? It is a country of technicians. Then the experts tried to convince him, if you go ahead without biotechnology, Singapore will become a country of technicians only. It was a story of 1983. Within 10 years, biotechnology became a booming economy, part of booming economy in that country. Within 10 years, the market size was from $6 billion to $24 billion. So Lee Kuan was a visionary. He introduced in late 1983. But obviously we are running late. And in this world, this biotechnology field will have a business of $775 billion in 2024. So you can imagine the probability, the possibilities, the scope in this biotech field. But most of the people are unaware about it, even we. Innovation has no limit, you know. The innovation is required, entrepreneurship is required, financial assistance is required, robust ecosystem is required. I'll give you one example of innovation. You know, this tunnel mining, it is always associated with some leftover structure like pillar, like roof, like walls. So what Chinese started to think to utilize this abandoned coal mine for their commercial rejuvenation. So they invented one microbes. They injected the microbes into the tunnel. It customized itself, it multiplied, and it started reacting with the ecosystem, and it started produce coal gas. And Chinese people started producing coal gases from the tunnels. It was made commercially viable. So this type of innovation, entrepreneurship, association of the financial institution, academic institution, this golden handshaking, that is very much required. And I think in this direction, the Adamas University is surging ahead. Obviously with the help of the government, the BIRAC, Government of India, Government of West Bengal. So we can create a robust ecosystem where we can all thrive towards a brighter future. In Calcutta, we are trying to develop a biotech park. Obviously, it's a government initiative, inviting 90 to 26 industries, obviously a startup. Biotech field always is passionate journey from startup to entrepreneur, entrepreneurship to enterprise, and then to industry. But I believe, it will be a big economic giant in future. In Singapore, it contributed 5% of the GDP at that time. So I think the policy makers, the administrators, the academic institution, the industries, one day they will start realizing that biotech is an emerging field and we have to do something for it. With these few words, thank you all and thanks for the invitations.
Dr. Piali Boshak is our next guest of honor, but in our post-lunch session, we have an elaborate panel discussion where she will be speaking. So now I am not calling her again. And we're almost nearing the end of the first session. So now we would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Professor Dipendra Kumar Jha, to kindly come up to the podium and share his valuable views regarding today's event. So with a big round of applause, please welcome our Vice Chancellor, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, one and all present here. In absentia, the chief guest of the program, Professor Parth Pratim Majumdar, the other guest of honors, dignitaries on and off the dais, in absentia or those who joined online, like Dr. Manish Diwan, and others who could not join. I'm not sure Professor Suranjan Das is joining or not, but thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you everyone for joining us, accepting our invitation and joining us today. It's a very small, humble effort by the university. A journey, a next step, one of the steps that we took a couple of years back when officially, when we did the restructuring of the university, the governance restructuring, we had incubation. We identified it as one of the major area, focus area going forward. We have research, we have innovation. We all talk about innovation, but then hardly we try to go, to that level, innovation level. Most of us, the faculty members, first I am talking, we are engaged in writing research papers. But what we do is, those research papers have, I'm not saying that, that they are actually, documented evidence of the invention that we do. But they are just inventions because we ideate something, we put forth some idea. But we stop at one point. We do not take from there. We just get it published, or we go for patenting. Patenting, you know that in our country, or even other parts, it doesn't take that much time the way it takes in India, almost 5 to 7 years. So then we stop. Now to me, the innovation actually is after that. When you have idea, can you convert it to something meaningful, something impactful, that can positively impact society, that can solve societal problems. That's what is innovation to me. So I think whenever we are now, now onwards, and even, students, I would say, it cannot be, the ecosystem cannot be complete if the faculty members are producing papers or doing some research in isolation, because that is of no use. Can you just see? I would request someone to be here only, please. It doesn't give a good. Okay. So what I was talking is innovation doesn't complete, this ecosystem. The major stakeholder of this ecosystem is you students. We are trying to create this ecosystem here. We have incubation cell, and thanks to Government of India, BIRAC, for having this faith, believe in us. And today we are inaugurating, today we are starting another chapter of this journey, innovation journey. Entrepreneurial innovation, that is also important. We talked about translational research and then entrepreneur, becoming entrepreneurs. Now you know that last year itself we introduced something at undergraduate level. We are trying to institutionalize some of these entrepreneurial spirit in all of you, all the students, and that is through introduction of a course called venture ideation. And of course we have actually, so venture ideation, and that will be, the next level will be venture implementation. So the idea is to inculcate this seed in everyone. You may not become an entrepreneur, or you may not start a company, but it's not about starting a company. There are certain attributes, there are certain traits associated with entrepreneurship. You become an independent thinker. You think, you try to do something rather than postpone things. If something fails, you have plan B ready. Yes, there are certain aspects to it which is not like entrepreneurial, one would actually associate this with. For example, you may not like compliance, you may not be adhering to the compliances, but that's okay. The kind of advantages that you get by becoming an independent thinker, a go-getter, quickly do something. If something fails, then it still bounce back. You may not have got like managerial or say financial skills, which actually now is being provided by different agencies. I think we are trying to actually create this ecosystem by inculcating this notion of entrepreneurship in you. You may not start, eventually, all of you, but still you need to have this, traits in you. You need to start thinking this way, because we know that the only thing which is going to actually survive, the test of time is, I normally say in different forums, I would again repeat it today, that 3 things that I feel that extremely important if we want to be successful as an individual or as an organization. We first need to be ambitious. It's the ambition quotient that takes us to the next level. The second is being innovative. Today we are talking about innovation. Being innovative. Innovation is you do something, you come up with some idea. It doesn't necessarily be like someone the likes of Einstein or something. You change something, the way of doing things, or eventually something that you are going to achieve, so that you do not go back to the earlier practice, the earlier way of doing. So the second thing is innovation, and the third thing, the most important part, is lifelong learning, the habit of learning. Next many years, you will find that, just look at 5 years or 10 years back, where we started, those things which were extremely important for us in our life, most of them, or say many of them, they do not exist today. If you see 10 years back, many of the things were not there. It's all because of this entrepreneurial thinking, the innovation, this has happened. And what will happen? People say that, maybe 10 years from now or 15 years from now, the kind of skill sets that is required, many of them are actually not known yet even. So you are going to redefine those skill sets, the way it's going to turn out. So I think being innovative is extremely important, being ambitious, and then being a lifelong learner. These are the important traits. Everyone talks about do not become a job seeker, but then become a job giver. I think here at Adamas, with support from BIRAC, Government of West Bengal, Government of India, we are actually trying to give you an ecosystem. It is not only for this Adamas family, but then it's for extended this thing, the state and even beyond. But I think being here, since it is this center, EUA center is housed here, I think you need to make most out of it. Because obviously, this proximity, you will actually hear every day that something is happening. Even people from other universities, they will come here, they will try to innovate something, they will try to work on some ideas, and I think you are actually natural beneficiary. So all you need is just an eye, a patient hearing, and then see that how they are doing. You may have got lovely ideas. Sometimes you have hypotheses, you want to test it. Just reach out to your faculty members and the experts or mentors that we are going to have here, and you will get the solution. We would like to give you the, if your idea is good, you will get place, you will get hand-holding, inspiration, technical, financial hand-holding. I think what else you need? The only thing is you need to have that conviction. And this is what the entrepreneurs have. One of the traits is having a conviction. Others may not see something that you will see. And then you need to be go-getter. So I'm actually quite excited today that we are, Adamas, it's being, we have just completed, barely completed 6 years of our existence, but then we are already one of the 10 EUA centers of the country. Extremely delighted, and it's a proud moment for all of us, but we need to make most out of it. I also would like to, at this moment, acknowledge the efforts of Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee, who has been instrumental, and something that I had dreamed maybe a couple of years back, that incubation should be one of the pillars of this university. Of course, there are others as well. He has actually, day and night he has worked, and he has made us proud. This is just a beginning, I would say. Probably in few months, we'll be inaugurating the Atal Incubation Center also here, which will be the only in this part of the country. So I think I'm ambitious, we all are ambitious as a team, and sky is the limit. Students, make most out of it. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. So hereby, we conclude our first session. We will request our honorable delegates and offline participants to move towards the management building for the lunch break. And we will reassemble in the auditorium again at 1:30 p.m. And we will continue with our second session.